Psalm 64. In the NLT, which is an acronym for New Living Translation, and I may compare this to the King James or the KJV. Let's see where the Spirit takes me. This is not going to be long, but sometimes it's fun to go into these other translations. Anyway, it says, Psalm 64, verse 1, for the choir director, a psalm of David. So who's the choir director? David, of course, because all these psalms are songs. David played so well the stringed instrument and in song that he could exorcise demons and bring forth righteous spirits. He did that with Saul, the king. Saul was vexed with a demon or demons, and he called on David to play for him and sing for him. And, you know, a lot of these jakes, like this so-called the new hip hop, that's all demonic. That's all demonic. There should be this form of hip hop should be outlawed. Now what they're doing is if they arrest Jake, put him in the system, they're using his rap lyrics to convict him. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. It says, "Oh, Most High, listen to my complaint." And we're supposed to be complaining, right? Let me click on that. When you're out there on the highways and the byways, you're complaining. When you're putting up them prayers, you're complaining. What was the first thing that Abel did when his brother Cain rolled up on him and killed him? The first thing that he did was he complained when he hit the spiritual realm. What are the souls that have passed? Abba, King Mashah, Yaikwab, and many others that have, transitioned. They're complaining. They're up there in the heavens complaining to the Father, to Yahweh by Shema Shah. When you going to take this man down? And the Most High is going to get ready to take this man down. Let me look up this word, complaint. M-I, complaint. And the word is, in the Hebrew, shayach. Meditation, complaint, musing, plaint, complaint, following, are dubious, musing, anxiety, trouble, talk. O power, listen to my complaint. Protect me, to protect my life from my enemies' threats. What did the ADL do? And it was not the so-called Jewish community. It was the ADL, which is the organization of lawyers. That, if you go to the story, it was about this guy that raped this little girl or whatever, and hit her, and they caught up with the guy, and he was a small hat. And there's one, and the prosecution brought out all the facts on the guy, and it was an all-white jury. I believe 6 of the jury members were small hats, and the evidence. This is what I heard. Was overwhelming. And what the defense lawyer did, he said that you're anti-Sep. You people are anti-Sep. The prosecutor's anti-Sep. That's what they do. I told you this story before. I'll say it again. Went to pick up this individual, which happened to be a small hat, and his family. It was him, his wife, which I didn't see his wife. I saw his children, anywhere from 5. The next one maybe was 4, and the other one was maybe 2. And a whole bunch of luggage. I saw a whole bunch of luggage. And I said, there's no way I can get all this luggage in, let alone the people. So, but they're bringing out more luggage, and I'm telling them, there's no way I can take this luggage in yourself. And he's complaining. And we're going back and forth complaining. He said, well, let's try to put it in. I said, no, no, no. In my mind, I said, I'm not going to get nothing broken or handle broken. Then I got to go through the process to sue you to get the extra money. No, 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 that ain't working. So when everything was said and done, he said, I really know why you don't want to pick me up, because you're an anti-simp. And I told him, I said, I pick up many people, including your race of people, including Jewish people and the Hasidim community. I pick them up all the time. I pick them up all the time. So why would you say I'm anti-simp? And he said, you're anti-simp. That's the go-to with these people. That's what they go to. Now, how in the hell can we be anti-simp when we're telling people that we're the Israelites, and we're telling the people to wake up to Israel? You say that we're anti-simp because if we're the Israelites, then who are you? Well, guess what? You yourselves in the land of Israel open up your arms to the Falasha, which are black people with woolly hair, so-called black people with woolly hair. And they came back on the concept, the biblical concept of law of the right of return. So what are you saying when you're saying you can come back based upon the right of return, or the law of return? That means you're saying that black people can be real descendants of the Israelites, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So we can't be that. So this is, look, it's going to be in this, and when I finish reading this, you're going to see that they're gonna bite their own tongues, man. Basically, what you did was you told on yourself, because anytime going back to Nick Cannon, was that a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, whatever, bringing it up to date to Ye, he's pretty much out of the news. They ain't messing with him no more. They messed up his businesses, because that's what you do. You destroy people's businesses. You destroy people's lives. And the new guy is Kyrie. So you made him do 6 things because you under the vibration of 666 any damn way. So this backfired on you, because now all these jakes are talking about the Israelites. They ain't talking about Sarnetta. Sarnetta's played out. That whole Kemetic thing is played out. That whole Kemetic thing, when I was a kid, I'm talking about when I was like 5, 6 years old, 7 years old. That whole Kemetic thing came out with the dashikis and all that. Then the shit died. Then it kind of came back to life. Then it died again. It's here once again. That Kemetic bullshit raised its ugly head up again, and it's getting ready to die. Ain't nobody talking about going back to no motherfucking Africa. Anyway, let me keep reading. But they'll do that. You do something that has nothing to do with being against them in any way, and the go-to is you're anti-Semite. That's what they did. So it backfired on these people. It backfired on the ADL, and even the Southern Poverty Law Center. They used to call us Black Hebrew Israelites, but you know they had to change that up. Their mission statement or whatever, they had to change, or the part where it speaks about the Israelites. They said, well, they're radical Hebrews, or they're not just Black, they're Latin and Indian. And we've been saying that. So you were forced to change it. So now you can't call us Black no more, because are Indians Black? American Indians, are they Black? Are Latinos, are they Black? No. They would be considered brown or tan. And that's obvious. So you had to change your whole narrative. So you should have kept quiet. The ADL should have kept quiet. But they have a lot of power. So now they have to deal with it. So more Jakes are waking up. Let me say this. Everybody knows about the IUIC because of that whole stunt that they did, which is a gimmick. But guess what? They did it. That's good. Good for them. I take my hat off to them. You know what I'm saying? I'll take my hat off. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I'm taking my hat off If you can see me, I'm taking my hat off to the IUIC, because now everybody's now that all these actors, these entertainers, these athletes, professional athletes, Floyd Mayweather, all of them, they all know about the story about Kyrie, and they all know about the IUIC. Then they're gonna find out that there's more Israelites out there. There's other groups, and if you watch IUIC, you know IUIC likes to talk about GMS. We like to talk about them. They like to talk about us. They mention GMS, and they'll show pictures, and they'll say, "Who's these GMS guys?" Then they'll go to GMS, and they might watch a video here, then ISUPK, and then they're gonna hear us say the IUIC is going off on this. So they might say, "Well, let me get further into this. Why do they say that? I thought the IUIC had 100% truth, and these guys are saying they got 100% truth." I'm ranting. Please bear with me with my rant. What did the Apostle Paul say? Bear with me in my folly. I believe that's 2 Corinthians 11, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost positive it's 2 Corinthians 11. Matter of fact, let me go to it. Okay, let me do this. Okay, I'm right here. Okay, I want to go here. I'm almost positive it's 2 Corinthians 11. Or it could be 1 Corinthians 11. Let's see. Yep, it's 2 Corinthians 11:1. Paul defends his apostleship. Would to the Most High, ye could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. But the Apostle Paul was saying, I'm jealous over you like God is jealous over you, like the Most High is jealous over you. But I have espoused you to one husband, which is Yahushua, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Yahushua. What does it mean by a chaste virgin? Let's look it up. And we're going to get back into the Psalms. I'm going a different direction. And this is about the leadership. The Most High set up the leadership. We are the leaders of the new school. All right? Jealousy over you with godly jealousy. Jealousy, I espouse you to one husband, which is Yahushua, that I may present you as a chaste. Let's look up the word chaste. Let's look up the word chaste. Hagnos, which means exciting, reverence, venerable, sacred, pure, without spot of blemish, pure from carnality. That's why he got on them, the Church of Corinthians, in particular, 1 Corinthians chapter 5. You can start from the first verse and read down. It speaks about fornication and that a man shouldn't lay down with his husband's wife. And he said that many times. He went in the word fornication, which means adultery. Because what was he doing to the church of Corinth and all the churches? He was cleaning them up. You know, you can't lay down with your father's wife. You can't lay down with your fellow man's wife. A woman cannot be in positions of authority. He's cleaning them up. If a woman has a question, let them ask their husbands at home. Women are supposed to have their heads covered, among other things. Men are not supposed to have long hair. Why did he say that? Why is that put in the scriptures? Why did the Most High allow that to be put in the scriptures? Because men are not supposed to have long hair. And what did that go back to? The Church of Corinth, which were Israelites, they came out of what? They came out of that Hellenized state that they were in. And part of that was the young Greek men had long hair. They had the cornrows, the braids. They showed you that in the movie Troy. So it says pure from carnality, chaste, modest, pure from every fault, immaculate, clean. You know what immaculate means? It means spotless, clean. So you're not going to go to the Lord, with women talking about, I'm the leader of this group and I'm the leader of that group. You're not going to go to the Lord with long hair, with cornrows in your hair. All right? You're not going to go to the Lord, be presented to the Lord because you laying down with your father's wife. And I really got to get into the book of Corinthians. How about Shem Shai? Give me the spirit to go into the book of Corinthians. I may go through it today with the other apostles and the bishop. Just get into Corinthians, because that was the apostle Gabar always says this. He said the hardest church that Paul had to deal with Corinthians. And why was that? Because they were bringing in their Greek Hellenized bullshit with them. Anyway, this is a whole nother subject, right? Let's come back over here. What does it mean by chaste? It means pure, without spot, perfect. Perfect. That means you can't, when the Most High gathered the Israelites during the time of Moses, when he said to come to the mountain, he said, come for 3 days, come not at thy wives, because they would have been unclean. The Lord says when a man goes to war in Israel, when he goes out to the battle, you're not to come at your wives. And I believe it also says 3 days. And back in the day when you were boxing, if they had the training camps, Ali had the training camps where you stay away from the woman. You don't got to do that now. But guess what? You got to stay away from the woman for a certain amount of time to keep that strength. Because when you busting a woman, you lose that strength. So you stay away from the woman. You eat special foods. When a boxer has a fighter, he has to eat. He can't eat what everybody else eats. He has to eat special foods. He has to do certain training. He has to stay away from his woman, whether it be 3 days, a week. It depends on the individual. And it says a virgin. Let's look up the word virgin. Parthenos means a virgin, a marriageable maiden, a woman who has never had sexual intercourse with a man. And that's in Matthew 1, but what should have been there was not Parthenos. It was the other word in the Greek, which means an actual virgin, a woman that hasn't been touched. Meaning, like, it translates in Hebrew to ayalam, one's marriageable daughter, a man who has abstained from all uncleanness. They had the long hair, the cornrows, they cut it. If they were committing adultery, they stopped it. If they were eating any foods that were unclean, they ultimately stopped it. If they were eating animals with blood in it, because that's what Esau does, steak tartare, they stopped it. So going back to the Apostle Paul, I'm here to present you as a chaste virgin. When in the ancient world, when a father gave his daughter to another man, marriage is when you get with a virgin. You can't marry a woman that's not a virgin. That's not true marriage. You got a woman that was chaste. And that's why you had a law where the man could say, this woman has laid with another. And then the parents has to bring the, what do you call that? I can't even think of the word, but it's the virginity. So I can't even think of the word. Somebody help me out. A token of virginity. Matter of fact, I should go into that. there's a lot to this Hebrew Israelite thing, man. This is not about going out there calling the white man the devil. There's a lot to this. There's a lot to this. These people, these guys in IUIC bragging. See, we got over 1 million people. How many of those million people, what percentage of the million people is going to stop doing what they're doing? Them same million people that saw you, the majority of them ate turkey on on Gobble Gobble Day. And they go on Christmas child. They went to the damn different shops on a Black Friday. They're gonna buy shit come a Cyber Monday. We're not looking for fans, all right? If we were looking for fans, we would go on fans only. We ain't looking for fans. We're not looking for anything. We're just doing what the Lord said do. These brothers are running late because they caught up in traffic. They're running real late. Now I'm going to have to explain it to them young brothers. And I'm going to say, it wasn't my fault. It was their fault. It's the so-called Christmas season. So these roads are backed up. But I'm ready. I'm ready, man. They like that song, that commercial. Well, I'm ready. It says a woman who has never had sexual intercourse with a man, one's marriageable daughter, a man who has abstained from all uncleanness and whoredom, meaning following these other philosophies, attendant on idolatry, and so has kept his chast. Ooh, this answers Revelation chapter 14 when it speaks about being they are virgins. This is the answer right here. A man who has abstained from all uncleanness and whoredom, following other religions, because that's spiritual whoredom, attendant on idolatry, and so has kept his what? His chastity. Chastity means his virginity, meaning he was pure. I present you as a chaste virgin to the Most High, one who has never had intercourse with a woman. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this. This right here. This right here. That's what I'm looking for. So when you go to Revelation chapter 14, and it speaks about the virgins, it's talking about this. It's talking about this. Spiritual whoredom, spiritual uncleanness, attending on idols, idolatry, and so has kept his what? His chastity. It ain't talking about a physical sex. It's talking about spiritual whoredom. So now let's come back over here. Let me finish this. And by the way, that was a King James, right? That was a King James. It said, first verse, "O power, listen to my complaint, protect my life from my enemies' threats." The number one enemy is the small hats, and they're coming to you on a legislative level. Now, they could say, we're going to sue you guys. We'll go into court. We'll go into court. Because now that's a controversy. Will the real Israelite please stand? Second verse, hide me from the plots. What is a plot? A conspiracy of this evil mob, from this gang of wrongdoers. And these people are wrongdoers because this is identity theft. They're guilty of identity theft. They're going around saying that they're us. So we can charge them with identity theft, and that's a controversy. So that can go to court. that can go to court. This has to be a world court. Because you can look, while we waking up, I've been waking up, you got over there in Africa. Okay, that should be them. Hold up, hold up. That's them. They're getting closer. It says they sharpen their tongues like swords and aim their bitter words like arrows. And if you watch the video where the small hat goes on Nick Cannon's show, and he's looking at he's peering into Nick's soul, and you can see Nick was scared to death. So we found out who the number one enemy is. Who controls every goddamn thing? Which Ye said. Ye said they control everything, and then he pulled out a smartphone and he showed. Oh, and I've been doing this myself. I've been going to these major companies, and I'll go to the founder, and it always leads to the same guy, a small hat. They shoot. Oh, the movie, the NWO movie. Who was the guy that put him on top? A small hat. He had his own, his own studio and all that, man. And come to find out, he was ripping them off. That's what caused all them breakups. That was a good movie. That was a great movie. That was a great movie. That was great acting. And I really got into that movie. That's one of the classic movies out. Great acting from them brothers. Great acting from that Edomite. They play, and he's a Jake anyway. He's a Southern Italian, but he plays Edomites on TV, on the movies. For verse, they shoot from ambush at the innocent. What does the word innocent mean? We're the innocent, man. That's why when that situation happened in Jersey City, see, that's these BHIs. No. That was some crazy person that was down with Comfy. That's all he was. Some crazy person that was down with Comfy. Let me look that word up. Okay, they shoot from concealment at the blameless. Okay, blameless. Yep, blameless. Let me click on that. Perfect. Complete. Perfect. One who lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty, or spiritual strength, etc. Sound, wholesome. You got to be sound in the doctrine. That's why we get on IUIC so much, because they're not sound in the doctrine. They don't have 100% truth. An ordinary, quiet sort of person. Oh, wait a minute. I don't say too much to nobody, man. I wasn't like that some years ago. I don't say too much. I try to duck people. There's certain people I see. I try to stay in the car. I don't want to talk to them. If you're not of this circle, it said an ordinary, quiet sort of person, complete, morally innocent, having integrity, one who is morally and ethically pure. So let me come back. We live a boring life. We live a basic, boring life. You know? We do the work. You work during the week. You do what you got to do. We're doing videos. If I'm doing a video, this is my second video today. So what's the excuse for you guys that haven't did a video in 6 months or a month or a week? What you been doing? Out of his, John, was that John 7:38? Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So you can't turn the water off because it's the Most High's water coming out of your belly. You got to speak. I wasn't planning on making the second video. The last video I did was almost 2 hours for a verse. They shoot from ambush, ambush meaning you're hidden somewhere, at the innocent. We're the innocent. Attacking suddenly and fearlessly because they think the Most High is with them. Psalm 50 and 16 on down. They encourage each other to do evil and plan. Oh, I found out some information. I'm gonna go into it. It's called I believe it's called the Ludlow Massacre, and we're gonna get into it in the car. We listening to videos and stuff. I'm gonna get into this thing called the Ludlow Massacre. Write that down. The Ludlow Massacre, to show you how the super rich act as far as the other, and they don't give a damn. They did this to Edomites. So if they fuck their own kind up, what you think they're doing to you? The Ludlow Massacre. Matter of fact, let me do this. Okay, I'm right here. Let me go here. Excuse me. Google. The Ludlow Massacre.
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, Ludlow Massacre, attack on striking coal miners and their families by the Colorado National Guard and Colorado Fuel and Iron Company guards at Ludlow, Colorado, on April 20th, 1914, resulting in the deaths of 25 people, including 11 children.
Okay, so now let's do a little research here. I already know who owns the company. The Ludlow Massacre was a mass killing perpetrated by anti-striker militia during the Colorado coalfield war. Soldiers from they're not going to give you the company, right? The company name. And there's an actual song. I'm trying to get the name. I already know the name, but I want to get the name out. Yeah, they ain't trying to give you the name. Ludlow Massacre was a killing presented anti-strike. I want to get the company. I want to get the name of the company. Let me do this. Okay, boom. I think I got it. Show you that all these motherfuckers are devils. The Ludlow Massacre was a mass killing perpetrated by anti-striker militia. They were the ones that were set up. They were paid to do this during the Colorado Coalfield War. Soldiers from the Colorado National Guard and private guards employed by Colorado Fuel and Iron Company. Colorado Fuel and Iron Company. They wasn't paying them right. Let me click on this. Let me click on this. Colorado Fuel and Iron Company, right? The Colorado Fuel and Iron Company, CF&I, was a large steel conglomerate founded by the merger of previous business interests in 1892. By 1903, it was namely owned and controlled by John D. Rockefeller and J. Gould's financial heir. Gould is a small hat name. There's a small hat name. Let me click on that. See what it says here. I'm all over the place. Okay. Let me go to Gould. Let me take the word Gould. Gould, name, origin. Oh, Gould name, original Jewish. So this guy Gould was a small hat, man. And they perpetrated that crime against these strikers. And these were Edomites. These were Edomites. I'm not going to read all of it, but it says it right here. I could have kept reading, right? The Ludlow massacre. It says Ludlow, Colorado, in 1914, approximately 21 people, including minors, wives. They fucking killed their wife. What they did was they sprayed gasoline on them and set them on fire and shot at them, man. These were Edomites because they wanted more money. They wanted better, they wanted more money, more benefits, right? It says um it says 21 people, including minors, wives, and children, were killed. John D. Rockefeller Jr., a, a part owner, he was the other owner was Gould of CF&I, who had recently appeared before a United States congressional hearing on the strikes, was widely blamed for having orchestrated the massacre. So they're trying to keep these super rich Rockefellers, man. They did some evil shit. They did some evil shit, brother, behind brothers and sisters, behind the scenes, man. And these were Edomites that were trying to get more money. Why you think it says what it says in James the 5th chapter? Go to now, you rich men. But see, you people in America, you don't research. You don't fucking research, man. And you get all amazed at us, and you say, "Well, what does this mean?" Look it up. How you think we learn all this information? We look it up. Let's come back over here. It says they encourage each other to do evil and secretly plan how to set their traps in secret. Who will ever notice? They ask. People are noticing now. This is Isaiah 47 coming to pass. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Thy shame shall be seen. And they try to push the whole slave thing. That's some heinous shit for up until this point. We never got free. We were never free. We were emancipated. We were handed. Emancipate means to be handed over to someone else. When a kid is emancipated from their parents, what does that mean? That they're given over to the state. That's what it means. 6th verse. As they plot their Bishop Nathaniel said, conspiracy theorists are generally nuts. Well, wait a minute. All these devils did. I read about the Ludlow massacre. That was a conspiracy. And then guess what? John D. Rockefeller didn't do a minute in jail because he's super rich. What do you think the Wall Street was all about? The Black Wall Street was all about. That was a conspiracy. These Edomites got together and said, we're going to bomb these motherfuckers. We're going to drop missiles on them. And who owned the planes that dropped the missiles? The U.S. government, man. The police system came from chattel slavery. The police was set up, the paddy rollers were set up to capture runaway slaves. So you devils got a lot to pay for, man, especially you rich. Woe to ye rich men. 6th verse. As they plot their crimes, which is a conspiracy, plot meaning to what? To secretly get together and say, we're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this, Joe, you're going to do this, you're going to come in and you're going to, it's a plot. Like sometimes bank robberies, the guy that's a part of the plot is a guy or the girl that works in the bank. What time does the boss leave? Where does he live? Who got the keys? It's always like that. That's why they say in certain crimes it was an inside job. So that's a perfect crime because you got somebody on the inside with all the information. When the main boss goes, when the money comes out, when the brink truck come, who's driving the brink truck. You know, it says as they plot their crimes, which is a conspiracy, they say we have this devised the perfect plan. That's what the word plot means. The system that we're under is part of a Illuminati plan. It said, yes, the human heart and mind are cunning, but the Most High Himself shall shoot them with His arrows, meaning reveal them, suddenly striking them down. Their own tongue will ruin them. The ADL should have got their mouth shut when Nick did his thing. They says that we ain't gonna say nothing about it. Ye said, no, we ain't gonna say nothing about it. Kyrie said it, we ain't gonna say nothing about it. And now who is revealed? These Uncle Toms in the game. There's a video right there for you, Apostle Arrive Live. The Uncle Toms in the game. So we found out, we always knew that they were Uncle Tom, but they're super Uncle Toms. Shaquille O'Neal is a super Uncle Tom. Charles Barkley is super Uncle Tom. Al Sharpton, a super Uncle Tom. Because they asked him the last interview that they came up and rolled up on him and asked him about, they said, do you think Kyrie deserved that punishment? And he said, yeah, they were justified. So guess what? Al Sharpton is an Uncle Tom. He's a Sambo. Stephen A. Smith, he's a Sambo. He's a super Sambo. He's not even an FBA, a fundamentally Black American, as Tyreek, she said, which he probably Benjamin. But the king of that is a race between this guy, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is a super Tom. That's a super Tom. That nigga should have a S and a T on his chest with a goddamn cape. ST, super Tom. This guy, Charles Barkley, super Tom. That's a super Tom. He should get an ST on his chest. Al Sharpton, super Tom. Their own tongues will ruin them. So you fucked up. You got certain Jakes that are throwing away their Nikes, they're throwing away their Adidas. And now Jake is, the clothes have been pulled off of this devil. And now the Israelites out there identify themselves with being Israelites. They're gonna watch more videos, and all who see them will shake their heads in scorn. So people are seeing, and people are seeing the spirit of these people, these small hats. They got nothing but hate. The first thing that Kyrie did was he offered him a half $1,000,000. If somebody did something wrong to me and said I got 500,000 for you, and I got an apology, don't even say it, yep, brother, you done more than apologize. They said, nah, we don't want you $500,000. That means they got plenty of money. That's chump change to them. That's chump change to them. Give me a second. That's got to be them. That's them. They close. Anyway, it says, then everyone will be afraid because Jake is waking up. Jake are beginning to identify with being an Israelite. They will proclaim the mighty acts of the Most High, and that's what Jake is doing. and realize all the amazing things he does. The powerly or godly will rejoice in Yahweh. Who are the powerly or the godly? The Israelites, starting with the elect, and find shelter in him. And those who do what is right will praise him, which is the elect. Most High is not saving all of Israel. So IUIC talking about, yeah, we got over 1 million people following us on Facebook. Well, guess what? They getting ready to cut all that religious and political shit off of Facebook. So what you gonna do with Facebook? Huh? And those people watch you guys to be entertained. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.